What is up, Ramley? It's been a long time since I've made a video, and I better start making these videos because too much stuff is going on and that I haven't even talked about. I do message, obviously, on the YouTube, but other than that, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you basically don't know what I think about all these moves that are going on. But for this specific video, we're going to be talking about the losses. The Rams have lost a lot of really good players due to, not having enough money or not being able to pay what other teams are offering some of these players. And, I have some good and some bad. So let's start off with the bad. So Corey Littleton is the number one guy I want to talk about. It's been a long time since we had a legit linebacker core, and Corey Littleton has brought really good stability. He's a playmaker, special teams contributor. It's very rare to see your starting linebacker make plays on, defense, and then also be the guy blocking punts. I can't remember a guy that's done that ever, especially for the Rams. So you lose a guy like that. He goes to the Las Vegas Raiders. I think it's a 3-year deal, $30 million. I think like about 10 to 11 mil, give or take a year. I mean, the Rams could have made that move. The Rams really could have made that move, and I think if they would have offered it to him, they probably would have got it. That's one of the things I don't understand is you got a guy like Corey. We built him basically from scratch, and you let him walk to the Las Vegas Raiders. So I didn't like that move. I thought the Rams could have made that happen. And then when that didn't happen, I said, well, you know what? Maybe they're trying to get Dante Fowler. He had about 10-plus sacks this year. Him and Donald were basically the majority of the sacks this season. So, maybe we're getting Dante Fowler. So Dante ends up going for 3 years, about $30-something million to the Atlanta Falcons. And that's a rumor that was been going on for a while, and then it barely became official. And so the Rams decided to not get either one of them, which made no sense to me because, you might as well get one if you're not going to get the other. And they were basically pretty cheap, so it didn't make any sense to me. That did not make sense at all. So those are the first two main losses I want to talk about. Dante Fowler goes to Atlanta. I'm thinking they're a 3-4 defense. I feel bad if they're a 4-3 because prior to Dante Fowler even going to the Rams, he was looked as a bust. And he was really happy to get out of Jacksonville, mainly because he was able to be playing with, Aaron Donald, and they had a 4-3 system there when he ended up coming over here on a 3-4 system, and it worked out great for both teams, the Rams and Dante. But I think Atlanta is at 4-3, so I'm not sure 100%, but I'm pretty sure. So I don't know how that is going to affect him and his production. I would not be surprised if he goes over there and does basically nothing. I would not be surprised. But the Rams gave him a shot. It worked out great for both parties. Dante was a really good player for the Rams. I'm going to say on defense, probably the fourth best player on the Rams on defense. Michael Brockers ends up going to the Ravens on another 3-year deal. Everyone's getting signed for 3 years. And it goes to the Baltimore Ravens, a team that really needs a steady, run-stopping defensive lineman. They ended up losing Michael Pierce to, I think, the Vikings or the Lions, one of those two teams. Michael Pierce is a really good nose tackle, but, Brockers can rush the quarterback and he can stop the run. So he does two things fairly well. And, it sucks because Michael Brockers is on the Rams for a really, really, really long time. I think since 2000. I want to say 10 to 11. I still remember the day we drafted him. I thought it was going to be a really good move, and it worked out pretty damn good for the Rams. He was always the guy that would get the, tackles for losses, and he would get the tackle to secure it against the run. So he was a really, really good player for the Rams for quite a while. Under the radar good. Not a lot of people knew who Michael Brockers was. He's been overshadowed by Aaron Donald since Aaron Donald came into the league. But Brockers always his, right-hand man. And now Donald doesn't really know what to do. And he's actually shown his, disgust on Twitter with emojis and comments here and there. But, I mean, the defense looks pretty damn different. It's going to be way different. And maybe that could be a good thing. Maybe that could be a bad thing. But that defense took us to the Super Bowl, man. And it feels very strange that some of these players are not going to be on the team. So those are the top 3 guys. Some of these other guys got cut for different reasons. So Clay Matthews ended up getting cut to save cap space. I think he was owed like $2 million, $3 million, something like that, but then he ends up saving another $3 million. So I can see why they did that. And then Nicole Roby-Coleman was due for about $4 million, and then they let him go. So NRC's gone. Clay Matthews is gone. I feel like I'm missing someone else. So many players are getting either released or they're just leaving the Rams. Marquise Christian, I think, ended up going to the Eagles. So we're starting off basically from scratch. It's a semi-rebuild. It's basically a semi-rebuild. And I think the number one, release, the loss was Todd Gurley. Just because of the fact that we just paid the guy starting 2019, he got the big old contract. We're gonna be good for a long time, and then all these moves started happening, and then now, at least I'm talking for myself, I'm not really sure how we'll be in the future, because we went from a Super Bowl caliber team. Not a lot of teams can withstand changes like this on the roster, but we're gonna do our best, man. The Rams are not done, but the Todd Gurley loss really hit home because, Todd Gurley was drafted 10th overall, first round, had the injury in college, probably would have been a top 3 pick if he would have stayed healthy and not fallen that far. We took the risk. He got us 2017, 2018 MVP type seasons, and then had a down year. Just had one down year, 12 touchdowns, 890 yards. Had one down year, and the Rams decided to let him go, just like that. So some Rams fans are sad. They wanted Gurley to be on the team a lot longer, myself included. I wanted the team to fix the offensive line before they let the guy go. To me, it really didn't make sense to release him now when we still need a running back. I mean, Darrell Henderson is great and all, but we wanted the Gurley-Henderson combination. Now it's the Henderson and Malcolm Brown combination. So you don't even know what you're going to get with that. That's the thing. But with Todd, you knew that the guy was powerful. You knew he was fast. He had agility. He had track speed. He was kind of like basically your perfect running back. But then there's also concerns about the knee. And a lot of people have even said, what about his effort in 2019? There'll be times where there'll be big holes right there. The Rams' offensive line creates a big hole, and Todd goes in the wrong hole and doesn't cut back in. Maybe he lost the juice. Maybe he got paid and lost the desire to win. Who knows? A lot of people speculating a lot of things, but only Todd knows. And McVay and Les Snead made the decision to let him go. So these were the guys that, a year ago we would have said these guys are geniuses, or we're on the right path and all this stuff. And then come a year later, and then we have all these guys released. Some of them didn't even make sense to letting them go. We could have just paid them. And then, with the Rams and Gurley, it's just a bad breakup, man. And breakups never end well. There's a little bit of saltiness on Todd's side, and there's a lot of Rams fans that are upset with Gurley over, some of his remarks and reactions. But what are you gonna do when a team pays you and then they decide they don't want you anymore? I would think that kind of sucks, But I'm not Todd. We're fans. We all have opinions, and they're all respected. So that's all I'm gonna say. But I am ready to see the Darrell Henderson era begin. Hopefully, he does well. He's got the he's got the speed, he's got the agility, he's got the vision to do well. So we just have to get him a good offense and let him get it going. But when it comes to all these losses, man, some of these didn't make sense. Some of these I feel like could have been, fixed. We could have paid Corey Littleton a year ago and paid him and, probably saved some money towards, him hitting free agency. And I'm pretty sure he probably would have taken the money because he's not the biggest name and he came undrafted. So Corey Littleton will be known as one of the best undrafted free agents the Rams have ever signed, just simply by what he was able to do and how he came out of nowhere and just contributed on special teams and was a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker without the big name and took us to the Super Bowl, man. So I can thank him for that. Eric Weddle decided to retire, saved us some money. We still have pretty good secondary. So things are looking up in the right direction on some aspects of the team, especially the Rams secondary and cornerback positions. I think we're pretty solid. I mean, Troy Hill really surprised me last season. He played fairly well. There's some games that, I kind of thought he played terrible, and there were some other games that I think he played very, very well. Jalen Ramsey's going to have a really good year. I feel like he's hungry this year coming up in the new stadium, and I'm pretty sure the team will be, hungry in this new stadium. Some of these position groups that, maybe were strength in the past are now going to be very, very weak unless we target them in free agency. And also once we target them in the draft. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully the Rams can fill these holes. And, we have a lot of holes in this team, but we also have a lot of up-and-comers that I'm very excited about. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, leave a share, leave a comment. And like always, do and please subscribe.